seen her on Sally Jesse Raphael.
Mine, a black woman should not complain about sharing her black man. Don't deny, you denying. See,
and you've seen her on Farm Report.
Furthermore, if a black hog wants to keep his style together, he should slap his black belt in the mouth when she needs it. Don't deny it.
She's Shahrazad Ali, the author of The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. You've read her book. Now, get her new how-to video. This easy-to-follow step-by-step guide will make you, once again, the king of your domain. Find out if you have what it takes with this simple quiz from part 1 of her video, Lines of Communication.
Hey, babe.
Hey, baby. Is it 6 o'clock already?
No, it's...
Oh, boy, you know little Jake went and blew up his Ninja Turtle in the microwave today. And then Aquanetta twisted and broke her ankle trying to do that bone dance. So, I had to rush into the hospital.
So I got no dinner.
Now, what would you do in this situation? A, take her out to a nice restaurant. B, have dinner at your girlfriend's. Or C, give her an open-handed slap in the mouth. The answer, of course, is C. A good slap in the mouth will train your black woman not to put her trivial concerns over your needs. Situation number 2. Your wife finds out you're having an affair.
With my own sister?
Look,
What do you give your wife? A dozen long stem roses. B, the necklace you were going to give your girlfriend. Or C, an open-handed slap in the mouth. Now, if you said C, you're well on your way to becoming king. Now, here's the tough one. Your wife does something nice. And I say it's tough because a black woman ain't going to never do nothing nice for a black man. She's sneaky, and if she does something nice, it's a trick. Watch her.
Hey, baby. I got you 2 tickets to the Lakers game.
let me see those.
Do you A, thank her and ask her if she'd like to join you? B, thank her and take your girlfriend? Or C, give her an open-handed slap in the mouth? The answer is B and C. Before you take your girlfriend, remember this. An unexpected slap never hurts. Now, if you answered any of these questions correctly, you're ready to move on to part 2, putting the man back in manhandling, featuring actual demonstrations by real experts such as Mike Tyson and Ike Turner. Order my video, A Black Man's Rights, Lefts, and Uppercuts. Make your wife buy it today. If she hesitates, you know what to do.
Hey, I was watching
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah? Well, y'all gonna be.
Folk, when y'all see this mask on, you know we got some things we got to discuss. This is Kid Gravity. We have reopened the podcast to podcast series. And this is a special episode. It's birthday week for Kid Gravity. I'm going to be turning 35 this year. So I figured since I have a platform now, I spent birthday week collaborating. And tonight we're going to collaborate. But we're going to collaborate for positivity. And I know on Beyond Borders, we don't do too much positivity. We save that for Better on Black. So, tonight, we are going to discuss the legacy and the impact of the greatest black woman that ever lived. And no, that's not y'all's Kamala Harris, because she's not black. We are talking about the great Shahrazad Ali. And when y'all heard the clip in the beginning, that was from A Living Color, because that was not my sound effect. That is from one of my guests. But she kind of threw me off. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so Shahrazad Ali, that clip you heard in the beginning was from A Living Color, because A Living Color back in the day, if you're under 20, you don't know nothing about this. They used to go in on everything pop culture in the black community or the regular communities. And Shahrazad was hot in the late 80s, early 90s with her string of best-selling books, including this one, which I promo a lot on the show. This book will save the black race if Negroes will pick it up. It's called The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And my guest has the same copy, and she shames me because she has almost every book, but that's okay. So, tonight, like I said, we're going to be discussing her impact If you watch this show and listen back on the audio, you are going to get offended. I'm going to just tell you up front because we're not going to hold any punches today. And if you're a black man, you're going to get offended. If you're a black woman, you're going to get offended. If you're a black child, this is not for you because I'm not signing that COPA agreement. This is not made for children under 18. So listen to it at your own risk. But first, I'm going to allow my guest to introduce herself, and we're going to get right into it because I don't know where the rest of the black people who said they want to be on this because, of course, they got to be late. But go ahead.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Taisha Essex. You can find me over at Taisha Essex. Taisha Essex over on YouTube. I am owner of Timonics Personal Defense. I'm a content creator as well as a firearm enthusiast. I talk about the Second Amendment all the time. I drive across country and vlog, and I am unapologetically a black woman. I'm not a woman of color. I am a black woman, and I love the black man. And it's an honor to be here tonight. I'm wearing this mask from my newest short film, They Evil. So go check that out over at theyevil.com. And yeah, like I said, happy to be here tonight. So thank you, Kid Gravity, for the invite.
Yes, this is a black-only zone tonight. So white people and Indians that hear this, don't get offended about what we're about to say. This is all love. But just know she went after y'all too. I'm going to take this mask off because this mask on here hot.
I'm nervous about cutting on these lights.
Yes. Back on the headphones. Okay, folks.
Mask off.
Mask off. Which is they going to say Martin Luther King Day when them two get inaugurated, but that's another subject for another day. We'll leave that alone. Folks, if you're black, you need to understand the impact this woman has had on the black race, even though it was underneath by today's standards. Because I'll tell you this, if she dropped these books in the social media age, she would, and doing these interviews, she would be so legendary, it's not even funny. And I tell people all the time, well, I tell my co-host, but I'll tell other people all the time. I put a clip up before we even started this podcast, just as a promo, just to show what kind of subjects we were going to talk about. Do you know, to this day, every week, I still get a like on that video.
That's what's up.
And it's all about Shahrazad shutting down a black woman when she said that we're not supposed to stand behind this man. And she got her told, folk, I'm going to let Taisha explain how hard and how much of an impact Shahrazad has on her life, because I have the clip and I'm going to show y'all the clip. And when y'all see the clip, you're going to understand her impact. But go ahead.
I want to say that it's an honor to be a Cincinnatian. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, hometown of Sister Shahrazad Ali. She has done great things. She has made contributions to the Marva Collins College Preparatory School, if I said that right. But yes, and if you do not know who Marva Collins is, you need to go look her up, because a lot of people know about Dr. Umar and his school. Well, you can learn about Dr. Marva Collins, who was a Chicago school teacher who started a school for black children in her attic. Okay, so that was the first, person of a black woman who was a person who made a school for us out of her own pocket, sacrifice, her own family. You can actually watch her story here on YouTube. She was played by Cicely Tyson. But Sister Shahrazad Ali, I found out about her when I was a little girl. My mother was watching her on, I think, Geraldo, and I remember hearing, my aunts and stuff talking about her, but I didn't know exactly who she was until, shout out to Brother Tariq Nasheed, who introduced her in the Hidden Color series. And I'm like, hold on, I remember that voice. And I remember the impact that she had on, women in Cincinnati who were actually wearing, their crowns, their head wraps. And one thing that I can appreciate about her is that she gave black women a direction. The black man and the black family is not our enemy. And yes, we are still suffering from the miseducation, the abuse, the horrors of slavery. We have to deal with that, but we have to, as black women, know that our black man is not our enemy. The non-black man is not our savior, and we need to take care of home. And to have a peaceful life, we need to get along with our black man for our survival. So shout out to her. And I want to also give her props, because a lot of people know about Iyanla Van Zant, Iyanla copied her style off of Sister Shahrazad Ali. If we want to put that out there, okay?
Shots.
So Iyanla.
There's one more, but I'm gonna mention this. There's one more.
Yes. So yeah, Iyanla fixed my life. Nah, Shahrazad got all y'all business. So when y'all go and watch the episode of Sister Shahrazad Ali on Geraldo and Phil Donahue, you'll see some familiar names such as Jessie Lee Peterson, Iyanla Van Zant, and some other people in the crowd. So she was the one who started and saved Black Bookstore. So salute to our sister. I'm forever grateful for the impact that she's had on my life as a Black woman.
Negroes. Y'all remember this song? UNITY. UNITY, that's a unity.
For unity.
Guess what, folk? Little fun fact. Do you know that Queen Latifah's Jew handlers told her to go imitate Shahrazad Ali because her music would sell better? Oh, y'all didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Go look at Shahrazad Ali's picture from the 90s and go look at Queen Latifah when she was running around being ultra pro-Black. And tell me that she couldn't be her sister. She couldn't play her in the movie.
Another influence is one of my most favorite songstress, Rest in Power, to Phyllis Hyman. When you go look at some of Phyllis Hyman's videos and records, she started wearing the crown as well and the shoulder pads and owning it. So shout out and Rest in Power to Phyllis Hyman.
Yes, sir. And ma'ams and little kids are going to hear this in about 10 years when they're older. Because my stuff don't come up in the kids section because y'all not ready for that. I could do a whole kids episode of Shahrazad Ali, but I don't know how that would work.
You actually absolutely can, because she has a book, Things Your Parents Should Have Told You. I mean, to get a copy of it. Shout out to Positive Vibes in Virginia Beach, Virginia. You can get your copy with them. They also have a store on Amazon. Make sure it says Positive Vibes and you can get your copy.
How much money did they pay you for that?
None. Because I'm Black and I'm proud.
That's how you build Black. Go ahead.
Yes.
But, folk, I got to play the clip real fast because y'all got to hear what this woman said to this Black woman who tried to be the house Negro that sat on the porch and tried to say that the slave was going to the fence. And this is what happened.
So say Black women can't be trusted in the presence of strange men for very long, meaning that if they see a man, they're going to take off with him.
Familiarity doesn't just breed contempt. It can sometimes breed desire.
But that means the Black woman has loose morals.
Well, we learn them.
What makes you the authority? Where'd you get all your information from?
I got it from studying my people. Now, I really don't think that this is the right thing to do for the first questioner to be a white female. I think we need to get a sister, somebody who might understand more about what I'm saying.
Well,
we have one. Let's go.
Shahrazad, I apologize. I'm kind of colorblind. I just go to whoever had the...
Well, I didn't get up here basically because I'm a Black sister. I'm a Black woman.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not, none of the things that you say. I work. I'm not a thief.
Well,
I don't steal.
Well,
I'm
let me
not a
explain.
liar. And I still have all my teeth.
A lot Sally, now, of what we generally use and how I'm introduced with the book is sometimes taken a bit out of context. What I'm saying, I have not said that Black women are the total cause of all of the problems of the Black man and in the Black community. What I'm saying is that we are 50% responsible for all the problems in our community. We have never accepted responsibility for any of it. I'm saying that the Black man is 50% responsible and the Black woman is 50% responsible and the white power structure is 100% responsible.
With all due respect, Shahrazad, this book lifted, not out of context, but every quote from your book, as you wrote it, doesn't have very much negative about the Black man and nothing positive about the Black woman.
Well, we've always had books that gave our positive side. We are very strong women. What I'm trying to do is to remind us that we are using our strength in the wrong direction. We're using it against our man instead of for him. And as a result of that, we're not able to be with him, and we have went for some ideas that are not our own, and we have tried to incorporate those in our relationships, and we're breaking up, and our children are out of hand and out of order. And I'm saying that until we get our family structure back intact, that we're not going to be able to produce a successful generation of Black people.
But to write a whole book condemning the Black woman.
I would like to know who raised you and how they raised you. Did you listen to what she had to say?
Well, the book is not an autobiography, so it's no point in me trying to explain that. The book is about us.
I like to say, well, I've read the book, referring to a comment a sister made over here, and I have a girlfriend, and she doesn't exemplify all the attributes that she mentioned in the book, but the book clearly states all women don't have that. But, you know, the guilty speak the loudest.
Whoa. This is going to pertain to you and him at this point. The guilty does not speak the loudest in this case, simply because you're sitting there believing everything that you wrote. He obviously believes it too. Not too many of us here believe it. And since she asked you a question and you didn't want a white woman to be the first one to answer it, I want to ask it to you. Where did you get your knowledge from? I mean, we all read the Bible. Who taught you this, and what gives you the right to tell us all that we are no good, that we are all these things, rats, bats, whatever you're writing about us in your book, which, believe me, I will never read. I have a husband, I have children. We live together, we do our thing together. I don't have to bow down to him, and I don't have to walk behind him and 5 steps behind.
I'm not suggesting
but
that
you're
we do
saying,
that.
Well, that you're saying we are 50% wrong.
That's right.
They are 50% wrong too.
That's
in that
right.
case. So we need a mutual understanding. We don't need to become slaves to them.
Well,
You're
we
taking
can't
us
get any
back
understanding
100
until we
years.
accept our share of the responsibility. The black man has always been picked up by everyone and talked about why he's wrong, what he's doing that's not correct, and how he has left us and mismanaged his family, but we've never examined why he has left us. He's left us because we are too hard to get along with.
Next.
Look at the face of those Negroes when she said that, folk. When y'all hear this on the audio, you got to go look up the Sally Jesse Raphael clip on that. It's called Shahrazad Ali, Sally Jesse Raphael Part 2. Just play that clip, boy. When she said that last sentence, you should look at that chick's face. They put it on the black man, and then Shahrazad sat there with the Cheshire Cat grin. She was like, "Now say something to me."
Brother, I must tell you that I love her reaction. I love going back and watching these videos of our sister because she's so unapologetic, but she's also so composed. She doesn't, let her emotions take over as much as they pick these select audience members to come at her. But
we got to talk about that.
Oh, yes, we do, because I got something. I had to go to my bookshelf. I'm a nerd. I was raised on reading Rainbow. So yes, I got something. If you want me to introduce that now, that will shut everything down.
All right, let me just show y'all this. I got this from her wiki. Now, they asked her why she wrote the book. This is why she wrote the book. She said, quote, "I wrote the book because black women in America have been protected and insulated against certain kinds of criticism and examinations. I'm going to get flagged for that, but I'm fine with it because it's going to be on the audio."
And if you allow me to, I'll repost it on my channel, okay? And we'll have tons of support.
We'll
have tons of support. We'll have tons of support, brother.
That's a fact. But I told y'all, folks, when y'all put up stuff like that, you get criticism, especially from the guys. If you try to be pro-black, they don't like that because they want to straddle the fence, especially now with y'all's. Okay, fine. Y'all went and elected somewhat half-black Hillary Clinton, who did it better because she's likable, but that's fine. But if I put up something from her, y'all love it. But if I put up something from Shahrazad, y'all look at me like I'm crazy. If I'd have put that clip up again, or the one where she said where she was insulting people for always bringing up her money, y'all would say, "Oh, she's a hateful black woman." And we also got to talk about it.
Why are they pocket watching her? Because she had the perfect comeback. You don't tell Nike or IBM they made too much money, but you want to sit up here and judge my book. And she's like, as I mentioned earlier, she gave everybody else a platform. Jesse Lee Peterson with his,
that's the man right there.
Cotton plantation, loving sack. Shout out to Tariq and giving him the Coon Train Award. Iyanla Van Zandt, who found her way to get buddy with Oprah. Okay, so she has based on on what she has done and her impact, she has gave a lot of people a platform. Given a lot of people a platform.
And that dude Hakeem, he was saying, you knew he wanted to show his book. He read it. He's like, listen, you gotta put my book up there. And what's the name? What's the name? Went right up in there. Donahue went. He was like, all right, go ahead, come on.
Right.
I was like, you. And then Jesse came out in the third part. And Jesse, you know what? I like Jesse. I know Tariq don't like Jesse, but I like Jesse. Sometimes he's crazy.
He likes Tariq because Tariq respects Jesse for what he does. He's put money in Jesse's pockets. You know, he was in Hidden Colors 5, and they also had the debate, which was one of his highest ranking shows on the Jesse Lee Peterson channel. So Tariq
is Fallen Stage. So check that out. I'm trying to get on there.
Tariq is putting money in our elders' pockets, so you know there's no hate. It's just business. It's nothing personal.
And just remember too, he also popularized Beta Bale. That's another subject for another day. Maybe we'll do a show on the impact of Jesse Lee Peterson. Who knows?
Oh my goodness!
But I know you ain't. I know you're gonna opt out of that show, but it's okay.
I'll be there.
She gonna be in the cut. But yes, but folks, I mean, when she came out with this book, when did she write the book again? Was it like she said she spent like 5 years on the research, right? And that was another thing. I love how they kept telling
1989.
Yeah. I love how they kept saying she didn't do any research on this. Yet in the book, she tells you I spent like 3 to 5 years gathering the information.
Her comeback was perfect. She was like, "What you gonna do? Call them all?" You know,
exactly.
It's based on living. Like, she is a black woman. She lives in these communities. I lived with her. I'm gonna say live with her, but I come from the same stomping ground, Cincinnati, Ohio, the ugly, dirty, beautiful city, home of also our fellow Cincinnati and Cat Williams. But you know. Other people
and one of the greatest black movies in 2D.
Yes, there we go. Filmed at Lincoln Park. But, you know, also we also had Jerry Springer, a mayor of Cincinnati, you know, so nobody questions these other people on where they get their sources and their information from, but they want to come at her. So, you know, the book is beautifully written. Shout out to you in Scorpio season. You're going to be 35. I want to say 35 is a beautiful year. I'm getting ready to be 36, and I'm so proud to not be a 35-year-old grandmother. So shout out to Sister. Yes, I am not one. Breaking those generational curses, you know. So shout out to Sister Ali, you know, for really having an impact on that, because a lot of the stuff that's dysfunctional in our community, you know, the other communities, they bank billions. They bank their generational wealth off of black dysfunction. So when we have someone like Sister Ali who comes through and points out our dysfunctions and gives us a solution on how to reverse that, they attack her because she messing with their money. You know, they bank off of us not liking our hair. So we give the Koreans, you know, all this money for hair weaves. We get lazy and don't want to sit at home and have a sister circle and do our nails and pedicures at home. So we give the Vietnamese all of our money. We, you know, don't want to cook at home, so we go to Italian restaurants and give them all of our money. We don't want to sit at home and educate our children, so we give everybody else all of our money, and they get they get our tax dollars to miseducate our children. So they were mad at Sister Ali because she was messing with their money. She's the one who put this book together, how not to eat the pork, how not to eat pork or life without the pig. She gives tons of information that she wrote this and illustrated herself. As black women, if we cook better, if we had a better control of our kitchen, our men and ourselves would not be suffering from type 1 and type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, getting limbs chopped off. Our children won't be out here on ADHD and hyperactivity medication if we take control of our kitchens. You know, our children should not be eating McDonald's and chicken nuggets and french fries and icy drinks, okay? We should be feeding them. Everything should be cooked with love and with a sense of pride from our kitchen. So she was messing with everybody else's pockets, and that's why they did not like her, because she actually advocated eating kosher food and following the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in this book. Leave the pig alone. That's not for us.
You know you messing with Chick-fil-A money down where you at. You know
hey,
that.
I cooked. I have not stood in line for one Popeye's chicken sandwich. I cook the best chicken sandwiches up in here. I go to Chick-fil-A when I'm on the road, but this kitchen right here.
You know, when I move down there, we gonna have to test that theory, right?
Oh, you more than welcome. I'm surrounded by cotton fields and peach farms. Come on down here, all right?
Oh Lord, oh no, there might be battles on this. You never know. Okay,
come on down here, brother.
Oh, okay. Before we talk about the big controversy, because I got to bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've read this book about 3 times, and page 44 is one of my favorite pages because this is when I think this was when the advent of what you're seeing now, especially now on YouTube, the women that don't want to be the housewife or they don't want to be a wife, but they want the privileges. And she actually brought that up in the book because in the 90s, that's where it started. And if you don't know, she kicked herself off. I don't know why she did that. I think her thing is over it. But I'm going to read really fast. I think your camera, I told you they spiking you. You went after Chick-fil-A and they kicked you out. You see that?
There's a storm passing through, so our internet has been kind of janky. But
what's your internet down there before I read that? So
the internet is Cox around here. The Cox suckers,
pause.
I'm
from New York. I had to say pause. Okay, Cox.
Suckers. They down here.
Wait, is that the only one, or y'all still got Xfinity?
For this area, it's Cox, but if you go into other portions, like
Atlanta.
I'm outside of Atlanta. I'm in Greater, and we have Cox. Like the other side of the street has Georgia Power. We have Flint. So yeah, it's a little. It depends on where you at. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm in Atlanta," but they're in Powder Springs or in the outskirts. So it just depends.
Okay, cool. All right. So page 44, y'all. Whenever y'all get the book, please go buy the book. Support the sister. I mean, she spent time. See what it says on the bottom? $20 and worth every penny.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So this is page 44. So it says, being a good wife is considered dull and outdated by the modern black woman. I like how she didn't space out black woman, but that's like my one little nitpick. There was a lot of grammatical errors. I'm a Nazi with that, but whatever. So she said, other black women will tell the good wife, 1, you're a fool for working all day and cooking all night. He'll eat if he gets hungry. Number 2, why don't you tell him to cook dinner? He gets home before you do. Number 3, you're a fool to give him all your money. You work for it. You got a right to spend it on whatever you want to. 4, I wouldn't take it. 5, girl, you ain't his slave. I had to put the emphasis on that one. But number 6, why don't you go to this party with us this weekend? 7, it may be for some people, but it's not for me. I just ain't cut out for it. Number 8, God ain't made the man I do all that for. Number 9, you ought to just tell him that you ain't gonna do it. 10, girl, I used to do that, but I got hip. 11, you have to train a man to do what you want him to do. And number 12, it's not fair for him to expect you to do all that. Folk, haven't we heard these excuses in our 30s now? We've heard these. They're just not as dressed up real nice as she did. Well, number 1, you do see a lot more men cooking for themselves nowadays, so that got destroyed real quick. And then you said, why don't you tell him to cook dinner? Okay, he did, and y'all still not appreciative, so what is he supposed to do? You're a fool to give him all your money, but aren't you the fool for asking him for his money? I just want to know. But I'm sure I'm going to get flagged by the time y'all hear that question, but that's okay. I wouldn't take it. That ain't what I'm seeing on Instagram. Shout out to the IG hoes. IG hoes. Before we continue, IG hoes. You know I love you. Kid Gravity loves you. It's gonna be all right. Y'all got Biden and Harris in. The COVID's almost over. Y'all get flown out again, so it's okay. We're gonna do a show about y'all. You know what? It's birthday week. Maybe I'll do it on Friday. We'll do the IG hoes show. It's my love letter to the IG hoes. That's what we're gonna call it.
Trick love the hoes.
Oh, yes. Oh, we might have some Drake instrumentals. I might get some candles too. Let's go. Okay. Girl, you ain't his slave. But you're supposed to let that man slave for you. Fact. Why don't you go to the party with us this weekend? You're gonna do it anyway. 7. It may just be for some people, but it's not for me. I just ain't cut out for it. And you wonder why you're a baby mama. 8. God ain't made the man I do all that for. Okay, I'm shutting the book on that one because you down there in Georgia and y'all love y'all's church.
Oh, that you just hurt my heart. You just hurt my heart.
Oh, well, this segues into the controversy.
I need to go in there and put my church wig on.
Oh, church. Oh no, listen,
my
church. Wait.
Bunga banga junga langa junga.
Oh, you know you gotta get the Paula White tongue. You know that. You lucky I don't have the Paula White tongue. Oh Lord. But folks, God ain't made the man I do that for. Folk, if y'all never read this book, there's a bit of a controversy with this book. On a certain page, I'm not gonna tell y'all what page because I want y'all to read the book. But she advocates that if a woman doesn't listen and doesn't follow her directions, that a man is permitted to give her an open hand slap in the mouth, which is what you heard at the beginning of the show.
That's in the original print, but however, in the new print, it's changed. Okay, it's changed in the new print.
Oh yeah, no, they had to clean it up.
And this print, I actually have the original print somewhere in here, but I have it, but it's not in this print.
Yeah, it's not in that one.
And that's what all the uproar was about.
That's the one with the white cover.
They would go immediately to that page, ignoring all the rest of the pages, but go to that one.
Mm-hmm. And if you watch any of the interviews that she did on Sally or Donahue or Geraldo, they all brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I do my research, and I found out why she said it and the context she said it in. And I understand who got mad, which were the Christian women. She's a Muslim. She practices Islam. They do things differently. Now, if you could say it's right or wrong, it's not up to you. That's just your opinion. That's how they roll. The fact so many Christian women got mad at that line, I just laughed because, of course, she's not advocating a man to go hit his woman. But she's saying from her side of the fence, it's different rules. And if you don't listen, yes, the man may take a little bit of corporal punishment to his woman.
And she stated that when a black woman is in a state of insanity, she's insane, you tend to slap, some sense into somebody to get them out of that state of insanity. And that's very important because I've been in places where people are acting out as I'm not sure if everybody else know, but my past I was a law enforcement officer, and when people are in that state of insanity and they're acting out violently, not following instructions, they're resisting arrest, you have the use of force continuum, and then you charge them with a felony or a misdemeanor or whatever, but there's consequences to those actions. And when a black woman is acting out in a state of insanity, you want to snap her out of that insanity. You're not advocating domestic violence. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, so that's not what she was at. But if you're out of character and out of pocket so much where the only thing to do is to get you out of that reality, she didn't say like beat her to a pulp or damn near kill her. Get her out of state of insanity, back to reality, snap out of it, and so they wanted to play that to the fifth power against her, and that was not it. Because coming up here, my mom and my aunts talk about the Muslims or the Nation of Islam. They don't involve the police in their ordeals. They handle it. And as a police officer, I saw that in different communities. They would call their pastor over, and we would just so happen to get dispatched out because a neighbor called, but they did not call the police. They called people in their community to solve their problems. And so we should have a mechanism in place where we don't call outside help. We have a structure and consequences within our community to come and solve and extinguish our issues.
Mm-hmm. And if y'all listen to the show I did a couple weeks ago, and I came out with my aid package, it's kind of like my version of Ice Cube's deal. I said on there, Y'all want to defund the police? Make sure y'all use that money and create neighborhood watches. Because if the Jews can do it and the Muslims can do it, there's no reason why you can't do it. But, black folks. But we're going to talk about that later. But, yes. So, Shahrazad. This book. And look at the back. The back. You can go buy this at Barnes and Noble if you could, and you know how everybody looks at the back of the book just to see like how the book starts.
If I could, can I read that?
Yes, you can.
I read that? Okay.
So this is the synopsis of the book.
This book is for every black man in America. All the guessing is over. Find out why to give the black woman one last chance before dating a white woman. So, brothers, before you go swirl, like I know about y'all and y'all tendencies. I just moved from the greater Seattle area.
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay,
we're gonna talk about it.
Here's the reasons that she gives to give the black woman one more chance, one more again. How her mother affects the relationship. How her low self-esteem manifests. Why she hates her own hair, why she dresses the way she does, why black women are rejected by black men, what her real value is, why she hides her true feelings, why she's so jealous and distrustful, what pregnancy really means to her, why she lies so much, what makes her different from other women. All of this and other mind-blowing answers to make your life easier. $20 and worth every penny, baby. Okay. A little bit extra in there, but.
I love number 3, and I like how she bolded it. Why she hates her own her. Now, if y'all hear on the audio, I'm with a black woman who got natural hair.
Whoop, whoop.
Even though on her short film, she had weave, but that was for a message, which is okay. Black women. Now, y'all notice I haven't talked about y'all in months on this show, but we're going to talk about the skin tone genders for tonight. Skin tone genders. Y'all know I hate weave. You know this as a fact. I hate weave. It's like I want to shoot it. No disrespect to Taisha, because she 2A. I want to shoot some of y'all's weaves. Some of y'all weaves. It's like what's a nice way to say it?
Them weaves are atrocious. Make sure y'all
go
check out theyevil.com. Like brother was saying, it's been 3 years now since I shaved off all my hair to a skin bald head. I think, brother, I was balder than you when I shaved off all my hair 3 years ago. I had that bald, but
you know what? Some women can work the baldy look, and I ain't never. You know what's funny? I never seen Shahrazad's hair. I never seen it.
She wears her crown, therefore she didn't have to go to the Vietnamese stores and catch a tiger drop kick to the face. You know.
Oh yeah, well, don't you just love those videos? Don't you just love those videos? And then the next day they all stand out there 50% off because he got to make amends.
But the thing of it is that ticks me off is that the black man is out there telling us that we are beautiful with the natural hair that grows out of our head, yet we still go and give our money to...
And then the mixed breed come over there and start yelling at you.
Exactly. So yeah, why she hates her own hair, and a lot of it comes from, number one, how her mother affects her relationships, because I learned how Brother Malcolm X, rest in power, stated, "Who taught you to hate yourself?" And I was taught how to hate myself from my mother. And to be transparent for a hot second, I left home when I joined the military at 18, and I have not lived at home since. And I prefer to have a distance from my family because I can define my own destiny and, undo a lot of the miseducation and things that was instilled in me coming up. I can be my own person and do things differently without any repercussions. So that was very true what she stated.
So yes, and that for most that might lead to like mental illness and relationships going sour and distrust in the world. And then you have the third to last one, what pregnancy really means to her. Because we all know, let's just say it, a lot of our women just have kids because they want someone to love them. We'll just say it.
And a lot of them do it for 18 years of income and government assistance.
She don't. She preaching. Go ahead.
So I mean, brother, you might not be able to say it, but I can.
Ma'am, I've said it. I've said it every time.
Okay, good. Okay,
I've said it all the time. My co-host gets mad at me. I put it on Instagram. I get backlash over it. I say it on YouTube, and I get mad. I put it in people's comment section. The women get mad, but then I've been on Twitter. I said it, and swirlers come out of nowhere and they get mad. So I've got it from everywhere. So it's okay. It's fine. Every day I'm seeing it now, thanks to you and other people. I'm starting to slowly become more pro-black every day, but I'm gonna try to redefine what pro-black is.
A big quote from Sister Ali is that when black women were having bastard babies, it was a sin. It was an abomination. It wasn't until the white females started having bastard children, and they called it a single parenting alternative lifestyle, whatever. But when we do it, it's terrible and bad. If I could interject 1 second, I'm probably going to hold this until the end, but feminism really did a terrible thing to us black women. Yeah,
She said it. She said, I'm out. She said it.
We were together as a black family unit. We fought to stay together during slavery. Like when a black man and a black woman fought to stay together and battle the evils of slavery, fight to keep our family together, fight to not be breeders. Our families get sold off, disconnected, abused right in front of our eyes. Our black man is tortured right before our eyes. I have a poster right behind me that shows pictures of black men being lynched. Okay, we were together. We had all these outside influences acting on us, but something happened. It's this thing called feminism. As we started fleeing the South from Jim Crow up north to get into project housing and get this government assistance, and all it did was create generational wealth for other families. I lived in Cincinnati. We were in Section 8 housing, and majority of our landlords on that Section 8 list were of Jewish descent. You would see the last name. And when we didn't have enough money, we would get our check on the first of the month, your food stamps on the 3rd. By the 25th, you're pawning your stuff at the Jewish pawn stores that was in our neighborhoods. So I was raised in that. However, they had so much to say about Sister Ali's book. She didn't just make the black man's guide to understanding the black woman. She made the black woman's guide to understanding the black man. So she didn't stay one-sided. She stayed equal. The scales were balanced. However, there was a book that's not talked about as much, okay? And this book was prescribed to non-black women, and it was on I'm gonna read it, how to make your marriage a lifelong love affair. This was not prescribed to black women. It was prescribed to white women. And this book is called Fascinating Womanhood. I have a copy of it, okay? And pretty much it tells the white woman everything she needs to do to have a lifelong marriage, okay? As you notice, Sister Ali is giving us the tools to have a lifelong relationship with the black man and the black woman, and that will eliminate the dysfunction in our families for generations to come. But I'm going to read you a few quick things from pages 256 on, and it tells you, apply this in the way you walk, talk, and use your hands and carry yourself. And this is prescribed to the white woman, coming from Fascinating Womanhood by Helen Andelin. The hands, avoid stiff, brusque movements. Do not wave your hands and use them firmly in expressing yourself. Sister Ali talked about that. The walk, avoid heavy gait or long strides such as the way men walk. We're supposed to be feminine in nature. The voice. If you are learning to walk and use your hands correctly, you tend to modulate your voice to harmonize with your manner. Okay? We're going to go to page 258. The laugh. Avoid any tendency to the masculine laugh, such as a deep or loud noise. You be quiet and meek as a woman and be feminine. Cooing and purring. When a very feminine woman feels close to the man she adores, she coos and she purrs. Bewitching languor. Languor is calm, quiet air similar to that of a cat relaxing before a fireplace. Facial expressions. Avoid frowns, hardness in the eyes, tight lips, and a drooping mouth. Feminine expressions are gentle, tender, sweet, with a soft look in the eyes. feminine conversation. Take care that your conversation is feminine. First, don't talk too much. All women talk too much. Now, doesn't it sound like what Sister Ali was prescribing to the black woman to keep our families together and in harmony and have a positive relationship with the black man? Not only do we have feminine womanhood, we also have this other book. I told you I'm a nerd. It's called To Be a Woman, which has a white woman on the cover prescribed to white women. So now you see the agenda is real. As soon as we prescribe to keep the black family intact, they want to attack her, which is the agenda to keep dysfunction and how they bake billions off of our dysfunction. I rest my case.
Clear the courtroom.
Court's adjourned.
There it is. Folk, she broke it down real nice. And while you broke that down, I was reading over quick, well, it's not a big paragraph, but it's kind of I'll read half of it, but something came across my Instagram. So this is breaking news, y'all. After I read this, I'm going to show y'all this and I'm going to read it to you. And I want to see what Taisha says. Because, again, this is another thing that I like to preach, that black people, we too much hear and we don't listen. So she said on page 68, another reason a black woman fails in her confrontations with the black man, because we've seen that a lot, is because she attempts to use the white woman's analysis and social priorities as her mentor regarding how she should get along with the black man. And y'all just heard her talk about 2 white books, which is funny because I just pulled that up and then she pulled up the white stuff and I was like, we must be in tune. We like this here. So y'all act like that white woman and y'all know that white woman, she can interchange herself depending on who she deals with. She can be meek with her white man, or she can be aggressive if she wants to be. She can be meek with us, or she can be aggressive with us. She can do that with the Latino and all that. You can't do that, black woman, skin tone, gender. Because when you do that, even if you're meek, they'll say you're being what? Fake. Mm-hmm. If you be aggressive, what will they say you're being?
Angry black woman.
There it is.
And Sister Ali pointed this out, like, as black women, we can take on these soft feminine characteristics when we're on the job working around non-black people. You know, it's yes sir, and we dress feminine, we're soft, we're coy, we're things like that. However, when we come home to the black man, and there's another book, I have it over there on my other bookshelf, and I talk about this on my YouTube channel right here. You know, it's called How to Love a Black Man, I believe is what it's called. It's by Angela Freeman. But she talks about that. As black women, we have to think about our black men, okay? Majority of the posters I've seen of lynchings were of black men. They are murdered, castrated before our eyes. We fail to understand what our black man goes through each time he steps out of our door. He faces enemies from the time he leaves the door until he comes back home, and that's if he makes it home. He does not need to cross that threshold into our home and go to war again. Okay, we're not in competition with our men. Home is a place of peace. It's a home of refuge. As I said, I was a police officer. Coming home meant I took off my Kevlar, I took off my duty belt. Yeah, I still had a couple guns around, but that was my safe place. I wasn't on a swivel. And that's the way our black man needs to come home, just for the mere fact that he made it home that day and he's living and breathing. He's not in an urn, or, you know, we're not coming back home with an obituary. It's enough to celebrate that that man, he's going out the next day to provide and protect. I love the black man for the simple fact that he will sacrifice everything to earn and work himself to the damn near death of him, so that we don't have to go and be up under somebody else's, you know, supervisor. And that's what I say too. We would give our black man hell, but then leave and go be under the white man's supervisor, where his wife gets to stay at home and shop at Macy's all day, but he at the job riding your ass, and you come home and let go of all of your anger, frustration on your black man. What Sister Ali was saying, you don't give the very best of you to just any old random black male. And I put a big difference. There's a difference between man and male, female and woman. Okay, every male is not worth the best treatment, your husband treatment. Some of them have to be charged to the game. Same as brothers. Not every female is worth being treated like it's not supposed to be your queen. You don't put your generational seed in every female you come across. It should be reserved for that special black woman that's going to treat you like the black king you are, the black man you are, and y'all establish generational wealth and a legacy for generations to come. You just don't be reckless out here again with any old little thing, because then you will have all the hectic and allowing other communities to benefit off of your dysfunction.
Well said. Well said. You heard that? Skin tone genders. Y'all heard that? Your eggs should not be cracked by every Negro. You played the sound effect again. That's gonna make me go get my roadcaster. $600. So wait a minute. If y'all want to donate to the roadcaster fund, put right there at the bottom of the screen. Cash App it. $ Kid Gravity Beyond. I take anything. But that was very well said again. But like I said, they're not ready for these conversations. Now, remember what I said before about black people like to hear but don't listen. I'm going to put something on the screen. I want you to read it, but I'm going to read it for the folk after I show it to you. So I'm going to spend 5 seconds. I'm going to show this to you. I don't know if you could see it. Damn. Of course you want to. Okay.
Can you text it to me?
I could do that. Okay.
Text it to me. I see you're on Instagram. Text it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it in your Instagram. Okay, folk. When you see what this heifer wrote, I mean, this is what y'all voted for.
Ooh, I can't wait.
I'm gonna ride this woman. Pause. Willie Brown already did that. Okay, here we go. I said it to Taisha. I know she just saw it. So here it is.
Got it.
She wrote this yesterday, 3:30 in the afternoon. I want to speak directly to the black women in our country. Thank you. You are too often overlooked and yet are asked time and time again to step up and be the backbone of our democracy. We could not have done this without you. Oh, she served me up a nice alley-oop. And I'm fixing to slam it down, two hands, Vince Carter style.
Get it.
Folk, y'all know how I feel about Headboard Harris, a.k.a. Kicks Up Kamala, a.k.a. Willie Brown's cum dumpster. This is an E show, so it doesn't matter at this point. There's so much in that statement, them four sentences, so much. Let's start with the first one, because we got to introduce it. She said, I want to speak directly to the black women in our country. Folk, she ran for years saying she was black. She ran for years saying she was African American. Ran for years saying she was an oppressed black woman who made it through the struggle, who smoked weed and listened to Tupac and Snoop Dogg in the late 80s when they didn't even come out yet. Folk, if you listen to that statement, she said, I want to speak directly to the black women in our country. I don't know how many black women are going to listen and hear this, but listen and see this. But black women, what black woman do you know would say a sentence like that if she's black? Wouldn't the sentence be, I want to speak directly to my sisters? I'm just asking. I'm just asking for a friend. Would you not say, I want to speak directly to my sisters, my fellow black women even? But that's okay. We'll leave that sentence alone. That's just the introductory sentence.
That is just, it just goes to show that not, oh, goodness gracious.
Just say it. Skin folk ain't kin folk, but her skin ain't. No, never mind.
It's not even that. One of the first movies I watched, coming to this wokeness, into this consciousness, was the movie Sankofa, and it's by a great brother out of DC, and I had the honor of meeting him, so I highly encourage y'all to go check out the movie Sankofa by pronounce his name right, Holly Jarima. Okay. He's a professor over at Howard University, since everybody want to talk about their HBCUs. So
shout out to Kamala. She running around with that Howard University, but we're going to talk about that.
Sankofa Cafe is still open for business, and Howard University was also the stomping grounds of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Rest in power to her. Okay. There's this thing called the tragic mulatto, or that person who, denies their blackness. And I don't want to call it the honor or the privilege, but this unfortunate circumstance of being around someone, for quite a length of time who, was on that fence. They were half black, half white, but they only dealt with their black side when it was convenient for them and there was perks in it, but they were still on the white side. And it was quite damaging, because these kind of people are very aggressive, they're very hateful. They hate one side when it's convenient, and then they will hate other people that come along with it. And when you're a black woman who is unapologetic in your blackness and you're confident as you're black, because I don't know why certain people expect, when you're black, to have low self-esteem and, be confused about who you are. Me, when I come into a situation, I don't have to do anything extra to command attention. It just happens. And this female, she happened to, be intimidated by that. So she did everything within her power to attack me, to come at me, even to the point where she tried to come at me physically. And me, I'm the type of person where, I put too much money in my mouth, so I'm not going to fist fight with you. I press charge and I show up in court. So with this situation here, I just allow her to self-destruct and expose herself for who she really was. In this situation here, I see a person, who played every side that was convenient. Okay, I'll join a sorority and I will, be a part of something because it benefits me. But when that no longer benefits me, I'm gonna go do something else, and it'll benefit me this way, whether it's sleeping with black men. I'll go over here where it's convenient. And we have to get out of that to where we allow everything else as black people to define us. Oh, I'm Christian first, my sorority first, my this first, my nonprofit first. You're black first, okay? Your two black parents that got together determined that you were going to be black, even if you pop out albino before your gender is even determined, you're black, okay?
Say it again for the people in the back that self-hate.
Let's go ahead and get Reverend Dr. Taisha Essex up here in the Unreligious Ministries. Make sure you pass the plate and join us every Tuesday night. We do this every week, and join us on our other ministries on YouTube and podcasts at Kid Gravity and Beyond Borders. Okay. Yes, but you are black first, and other cultures. There's even an episode of this show called Wife Swap. It used to come on Fox, and I remember watching.
I thought that was ABC. No, that was ABC.
Wife Swap, it came on Fox in Cincinnati. We used to watch it on channel 19, which was Fox back in the day. Okay,
but that was an ABC show. But they sometimes syndicated on other channels. Yeah,
absolutely. Because I remember the last time I watched it last year, it was on the Paramount channel, one of the cable channels.
ABC said, "Nah, you got to go. You're not getting us our ratings no more."
There was an episode I remember, and it was of a Jewish family, and the female mom, the wife who swapped, she stated that, I want my children to get with other Jewish people. I would be upset if they had a non-Jewish spouse, because they don't understand the culture, they don't understand the food, they don't understand the way of life. So as black people, we're the only ones who are, belittled and manipulated to believe that we're in this big melting pot. I actually took a training with the U.S. government a year ago, where the training started out. The United States is not a melting pot, it is a salad. Everybody has their own piece that goes in there. So even if the U.S. government is saying it, black people, you need to
get out
realize
of that.
Exactly. Boom.
I've told people that too. Y'all got to stop thinking that they put POC on you to hide you.
What happened when we said, "Oh, come and worship with us, Dylan Roof"? What happened? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, Birmingham? You know, come and worship with us and our children. What happened? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're the only ones who are manipulated into opening, you know, our borders to everybody. However, everybody else is, you know, segregated and they keep us out, whether it's via language. Okay, black people, they pick on us for speaking Ebonics, but let, you know, a rapper come in, Post Malone, and call himself the White Iverson. We supposed to let him in, you know, give him the kudos, or let somebody sing like Whitney Houston. We supposed to let them in, but let Beyonce cross over and do country. No, we keep her out. She can't have the Grammy. You know, they keep us out via language, via borders. I was active duty. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, and I'll go ahead and put this out. I couldn't join the Filipino mafia. Ask some veterans about that, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Don't get me flagged. I'll give you the video so you can put it up later. It's all good. But yes, back to what but what's another creative nickname they came up with this infiltrator? Oh, Top Cop Kamala. Oh yeah, you know she got a pair of handcuffs for purposes.
And that right there, you know, like I said, a lot of people will, you know, throw me in that pot, you know, having a background in law enforcement, but
see, you weren't making policy to go throw people in jail. You were just addressing.
As a black woman, a black person, you know, I came from Cincinnati, Ohio, where we had the race riots in 2001, where Timothy Thomas, an unarmed black man, was shot by Cincinnati police officer Stephen Roach, who shot him and got off, and is still employed as a police officer, I believe, in Butler County, Ohio. We joined the police department to try to make a change in our neighborhoods and be that police officer that we wanted to come through and save us, and not like the Daniel Cameron types across the river in Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, so there's a big difference. So those of us who actually wanted to come into our communities and make a difference, yet we see the corruption, we see, you know, what's happening, the political side of it, you know, on the other side of fighting. And you know, shout out to retired Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey. And tomorrow is Veterans Day. I will be celebrating our fallen brother Christopher Dorner, you know, because we actually want to come out and speak against the injustice. So it's a big difference between those of us who are black first and who actually want to protect and make a difference in our community versus those who are selling out our community to get ahead.
Yeah, actually, Rose and I are going to do a conspiracy theory show this weekend, and he's going to come up to the docket because I still say they murdered him because he was about to expose something. But that's another subject for another day. That's Sunday. So y'all tune in. We're not going to do it on YouTube because we'll get flagged. I know that. So we're going to do the audio, but we'll make sure to put it out.
I'll be there.
Yes. So back to the old Heels Up Harris. She wrote this: "You are too often overlooked and yet are asked time and time again to step up and be the backbone of our democracy." Folk.
So what happened to the black man? You know what I'm saying?
My God. No, okay. On our show, we do politics a lot. And I've said this for months. They're still pissed off at us for 2016. Now, I voted for Hillary because I didn't trust Trump. I'm going to put that out there.
I stayed home.
I'm sure you did. Like a lot of black folks. You at least you weren't the one that wrote Hennessy or Harambe, so I give you credit. I hate those motherfuckers. But yes, so Heels Up Harris said you are asked time and time again to step up and be the backbone of our democracy. She only said that because black women, once again, skin tone genders, y'all voted for the Democratic Party 90% all the way. You watched Bill Clinton lock your black man up. Ironically, you just elected the author of that bill. But we're not going to talk about that because y'all don't do y'all research. I can do a whole show on the crime bill, but I'm not going to do it today.
There's actually an interview. I'll text it to you during the next break we get, where Sister Ali is being interviewed on, I think, like a cable access TV show. And she was up there with a panel of other brothers and sisters, and she was like, no, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, does not recommend that we participate in that political system, since it does not concern us or involve us. And so, I would say it's not black women, it's black females who have the envy, who want to
I forgot
fit,
that distinction. Black females
who fit in, because those of us who are like Sister Ali, who follow, we don't have just two prescribed choices. When you go to McDonald's, can you ask for, turkey stuffing and dressing? No, you only get what they prescribe to you. But those of us who think outside of that, we know that we have other options. So if I had wrote down someone for, outside of what the prescribed choices were, you have that option. But I talk about the psychology side of it, the Skinner box, and how a lot of us black people, and this was put out by the great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, rest in power to her, many of us are still in that Skinner box where we know to only press these 4 lighted buttons to get this prescribed, outcome. You have 3 choices, 3 things that involve behavior. You have the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence. And a lot of us are still in that Skinner box where our three attributes to behavior are still predicted and it's controlled. We can think outside of that box. So that's just it. That ties in what Sister Ali stated, and I'll text that video interview to you. It's like in five segments, but that's so important. We do not participate in what doesn't benefit us.
Yes, and it's just funny that I'm sure Sister Ali would have been like, this whole election thing was not cool, because there's no reason why, again, we got duped with identity politics. And Sister Ali actually brought that up in subtle ways in the book. Don't fall for basic monoliths. And because now you hear that word running around black people's mouth now, monolith. They said stop following people that don't have your best interests at heart. And what you talked about earlier with your relationships at home, not everybody's for you. And I don't understand how 2008, okay, we can excuse that because we didn't expect that man to win, but he won. But we should have been aware 2012. And I still wasn't in the politic game, but my ears started perking up in 2012 because I started seeing he's not doing anything for us, but y'all love him. And I still voted for him. So I said, whatever. And then we get the Trump era. And honestly, you can even read some articles nowadays. They're saying that he's done more for black people than Obama. But, that's another subject for another day. But now you have these two coming in as what it looks like. And I can already predict they're not going to do anything for y'all. But y'all ran out there, like she said in this, y'all stepped up to be the backbone of our democracy. Get your booty to the polls. We remember that dust up. I did a video on that. It's on the Kid Gravity channel. I went off. Then I put up a picture, I think it was like last month, down there in your state, a bunch of Greek chicks talking about stepping to the polls for Biden and Harris. And I'm like, folk, the fact that I made fun of every stereotype in there. I'm sorry. I had to do it. They picked the obese, you can't tell me nothing, nose up in the air black chick to represent black women when we know damn well that's maybe 5% of black women. You didn't go get someone like Taisha. You didn't go get someone like friend Bailey from the That's Real podcast who actually went and served and has differing opinions. You didn't even go to the projects and ask regular black chicks. You went and got the biggest stereotypes and you put that out in front. And not near one of them looked like this chick, Kamala Harris. Not one. But y'all were cool with that. But this is the line that pissed me off. We could not have done this without you.
I want to send you a picture of what Georgia looked like a couple of months ago, and it was nothing like what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
But again, where do these females come from? So
I tell you where they came from. That 7 letters city in your state, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Because they think Atlanta is Georgia, and I'm sorry, I'm from the north. I thought that too until I started going down there.
Not. Georgia is absolutely huge. Like, you know me, I'm
Yes.
always on the road. Like one 3-day weekend, I drove 700 miles from middle Georgia to western Georgia to northern Georgia. I drove to Savannah, tipped down to Valdosta, damn near at the Florida line. Okay. Yeah. Georgia is not Atlanta, and that's one thing that ticked me off, because when our fallen brother Ahmaud Arbery, rest in power, was murdered, they were talking about Brunswick and kept relating it to Atlanta.
That's Brunswick's nowhere close.
That's like a 3.5 hour drive. If anything, like here's 3. Brunswick is here. Here's Jacksonville, Florida, and there's Savannah, Georgia on the coast. Okay, you're actually closer to Charleston than you are to Atlanta. So they kept relating it. Atlanta is not Georgia, and you know it's crazy. So gentrification is taking over, but they're just the loudest mouths in the room. But there's more to Georgia than just Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can't get no good peaches in Atlanta.
It's all plums down here now. Sure.
Yeah, because it's winter time. But you can't get no good baps down there. Wait, I might get flagged for saying that. I might get flagged. I'm sorry.
Bath?
I know.
Like
baps.
Taking a tub bath?
No, BAPS. BAPS.
Oh, the Black American Princess from the movie. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, I'm sorry for y'all. I had to show wife that movie. I'm from
the Midwest. I'm catching on for you.
Yeah, I had to show wife that movie, and she was like, "No, I can't watch this."
Get it. Don't stop, get it.
That wasn't Halle Berry's finest performance, but you know that's another subject for another day. We actually are, real quick before we go back into this, we are debuting a new segment called Hood Movies, and we will be talking about Hood movies. So yeah, we're gonna bring up BAPS, but that line right there, we could have done this without you. Black women, why do y'all consistently every 4 years get pandered to? I don't get this. Y'all don't. We don't do the locals. Let's just get it out there. We don't do the locals. We don't do the states unless it's governor. Mm-hmm. I said this on the show too. I'm up here in New York. I guarantee you, my New York audience, without Googling it, don't know who their district representative is.
To piggyback off of that, there was actually a brother, I think he represented, I think it was a certain county outside of Atlanta. He was actually with the Democratic Party. Something happened around.
Oh, you mean Vernon Jones? That's my dude.
Vernon Jones, yeah.
That's my dude.
He left the Democratic Party and he went Republican, and they kept that quiet. They tried to throw him out. Right. So I'm like, yeah, ain't nobody, bandwagon that no more. Some other stuff going on, and some people jump ship. So yeah,
no, a lot of Democrats jump ship during Trump's thing, but they don't want to tell you that. And now you're seeing the Democrats they're infighting right now, which is funny as hell. And I hope even though you're not with either side, but you kind of want the GOP, because at least they act conservative. You kind of want them to get either even it up or take it over, because I'm gonna tell y'all this, folks, and this is gonna be nightmare scenarios. And especially down there in her state, they just rescued 100 black kids from being trafficked, and the news barely picked up on it. I think only her local news picked up on it, and I caught it due to watching independent media. You're gonna start hearing the uptick of child trafficking again. You watch what I tell you, and it's gonna be black kids. You know what else is gonna start upticking? And this is scare black women as well. You're gonna start hearing rapes going up again. Why do I say that? What have we been going through for almost the last year? COVID. People backed up. I'm just gonna say it. Dudes are gonna be out there and start raping again. So go to her store and go get y'all stuff. I'm telling you.
Timonics.shop. Thank you.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
One thing of this, our children have been at their safest. You can't have school shootings when our children are at home. You know, so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But there has been an uptick in cases with kids getting the cops called on them. Shout out to white teachers.
Exactly. And one thing too is that I notice now, like everybody is going to start feeling safe. You know, we got the lesser, I mean, the higher of two evils at the office. We got them in the office. So I'm waiting. I'm actually going to, you know, start making them signs like people who be like cash for houses. I buy houses. I'm like cash for guns. Don't go sell your gun you bought during the COVID for a Walmart gift card. You sell that joker to me, I will meet you and pay the transfer fees. Don't you dare sell your guns. Okay, you better keep your head on the swivel, because I just went to the Equal Justice Museum over in Montgomery, Alabama, and I also went to the Memorial of Peace and Justice, what's also known as the Lynching Museum. Georgia and Mississippi have the most cases of documented lynchings. This is documented, and the most cases in Georgia were the greater Atlanta area. I'm like, and that was a shock speak. So I'm like, well, it's more black people up there to stick together and fight back. No,
but see, here was the thing about Atlanta before. In those days, Atlanta was very conservative back then, and it was mostly white people, so they didn't play that shit. They didn't play that.
Go to Amazon and check out a movie called The House Invictus. I did a review of that on my channel, Taisha Essex, The House Invictus, and so go check that out. Is deep. What's important right now is that we need to get on the right side of history. Black people who identify as black people, not persons of color, not Christians first. Black people, black folk, my peoples, get on the right side of history, because Sister Ali stated, when times get tough, the black man, the black woman gonna get closer. You know, they're not giving out tangibles to us. It's symbolic victories and feel goods. Okay, so times are gonna get tough. Luckily, I'm an ordained minister, so you know I can go ahead and marry people, so you can get them 2 incomes and make it do what it do. But we need each other more than ever. Our black children and generations need us. Okay. Other people can talk like this to their people in their language and behind closed doors and exclude us, but there's this stigma on being black and talking to our people for our benefit, which is taboo, and we have to get past that. We have to be unapologetic, like the Black Authority says, uncompromising, and just keep our message out there for our people. This is our survival.
Yes, exactly right. And another thing too, and y'all don't want to pick up on this. And this is another thing Shahrazad talked about, resource building. Do y'all realize what you voted for? And I don't like lumping Shahrazad into the politics thing, but this was something she also prophesized 30 years ago. Y'all just voted for every black thing that we went forward with. You're never going to see this again. That record low black unemployment, y'all never going to see that again. The HBCUs, I come to find out y'all's Biden agreed with Obama to cut their funding. But then y'all want to say Trump was pandering to black folks by funding them for 10 years. Did y'all know Obama was sitting there fighting with the Howard University president for years about funding? But y'all elected a Howard University alum as your vice president. I love playing connect the dots. I love it. Black men, 2019, most wealth attained in history since we've been over here. Not gonna see that again. And the big one, and y'all swore up and down that I was lying on this. Y'all's First Step Act. Don't think Biden's people are not looking on how to get rid of that within his first 100 days. And you know what his reason is going to be? And y'all going to love this reason. We have to assess it and make sure it's fair across the board. Why? Because 90% of the people that got freed were what? Me and look like me and this black woman.
Negroes.
Yes.
The American so-called Negro, in the words of the great Malcolm X.
Do you know they just released a black man down there in Louisiana, sat there 26 years for stealing some hedge clippers? You Negroes, I told you, you Negroes that ran out there and rioted, you Negroes, they're going to start rounding y'all up. Y'all start another riot to see what's going to happen.
And one thing that occurred here in Georgia, there's like this new law. I'm quoting it loosely, but Governor Kemp had put it out that it is a crime to, target a police officer just because of their job. So now it's on the state level here in Georgia. So anything that they can articulate, their police officers are master articulators, and they will, when you go to court, whoever been to court for a traffic ticket, the officer gets to testify first. The officer sets the scene, puts that first thought in the judge's head. Whatever they articulate elegantly, then it's your turn to present. It's already there with the judge. Okay, so whatever they
so unless you got video, you're messed up.
And that's even if the judge allows it, because the court that I was in the jurisdiction of, there were no cell phones allowed. You had to go through, jump through hoops to get the sheriff's department to get your cell phone evidence into court. So that's who sets the stage, and whatever they say goes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So. I keep telling, boy. I don't know. I don't get it. When 31 years ago, she gave us the blueprints. She prophesized this stuff. It's simple changes. You Negroes love going on film, doing workout videos so you can change your life, so you can get likes, but you won't sit here and read some books and get some knowledge and some edification. Y'all go on the shade room to get your edification, but y'all won't go in there and learn some stuff.
If and I could telling something real quick,
go ahead.
A lot of females follow this whole I don't want to even say her name on your program, but this whole Cardi B thing. Okay, they got married.
She an infiltrator.
They got married and they live here in Georgia. I actually own a Georgia state code book. Go ahead and pick up a code book for your state.
Yes,
There's certain protections that is written into law for spouses, for wives. Baby mamas, baby daddies don't have those protections that are written into the law. Okay, so y'all need to go ahead and do what you got to do to get your protections. Get your protection, black man, black woman, because these whole alternative lifestyles offer no protection. Okay.
Yep, and I told you.
Get it. But yeah, Georgia, like I said, every state I go to, I purchase a code book, and it started, when I became a police officer in Virginia. I lived there for like 5 years before I knew about, sit down and read the code, read the case law, read what's going on, and you're like, damn, it will cause you to, really do a 180 in your life and do things differently. What's prescribed to us and what's prescribed as normal and acceptable is dangerous, is dysfunction.
Okay, I have to talk about it because it's down in your state as well. Now, you can correct me on some stuff. I'm just going by what I've been able to gather the last 2 years. I'm going to move the mic a little closer on this. Now, everybody black is running around praising a certain black woman for helping get the vote out so they could turn Georgia blue. And if I remember correctly, this black woman ran for governor and wanted to do something in your state that I think lost her the election. That's just how I feel. And that's that she's another infiltrator, but we're going to be nice because she has natural hair. So I give her, that's the only point she's going to get from me. The only one. Miss Stacey Abrams, who once again fits the stereotypes of that picture I told y'all about with them Greek chicks, but that's another subject for another day. She ran on the premise and told Georgia, I'm going to take your guns. Oh, she said this. Now, you can go research this. I'm pretty sure I remember her saying, because she was following them Democratic fools who were trying to be president. She told them, I'm going to take your guns. Now, we know folk outside of Atlanta, you don't tell no Georgian person, I'm taking your guns. You don't do that. Now, I think that's why she lost the election. But, people are telling me, oh, that down there, oh, she, Kemp frauded it and whatever. Whatever. I got to do my research more, but I know I distinctly heard her say, I'm taking your guns. And it must be right because I put that up on several times and nobody's debated me on that. But y'all praising her for helping Kamala get in, which means she gonna take your guns. She'll have more power to do it because there's already rumors that she's gonna try to run against Kemp again, and she has a better chance of winning because them two fools are in. But okay. Do you understand if she takes your guns, who's gonna be the most affected? Me and this black woman and people that look like us. Why? Because black people are so stupid, they're going to think that the white people are going to lay down their guns. Guess what the white boys are going to do in the militia people? They're going to give you the guns that they don't use anymore while they're building their brand new guns and still practicing. But except they're going to put silencers on it so they won't know that you're shooting the guns. So when this race war that y'all keep out there talking about somehow, oh, they're not ready for the race war, they're not ready for this, they are going to lay us down. And I also made this joke for black folks. Black folks, they're not even going to use the adults. Do y'all understand this? They're not going to use the adults. They're going to use their under 14s. Them little kids been shooting guns since they were 5. They were doing gun training at 3. A 7-year-old white kid, I'll put the gun components on the table. I'll come back after making dinner. They'll have the gun assembled and probably modified. You Negroes running around talking about, oh, we're the number one gun owner. We've had the most guns out here in the last year. Okay, how many of y'all can go out there and shoot? I know this black woman can. I can shoot pistols. I'm learning rifles now. How many of you Negroes think you can really go out there on an open street, limited cover, and think you're going to mess with them white people? And even them Asians, because Georgia got a big Asian population too. Don't think they ain't got guns. Who remembers the video where the Asian woman was asleep and heard the 3 black kids run up in her garage and she laid 2 of them down? So don't think the Asians ain't ready. They stay to themselves, but they know if y'all come for them, they gonna lay you down. Black folks, I keep telling y'all this. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta be aware. Y'all, like she said, she was in the Navy. She was a cop. Situational awareness. She talks about it a lot on her show. We're not aware. Y'all, we think 6 minutes ahead. They're thinking 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years ahead. When you've already got to the point where they were 6 weeks ago, they're already 6 months ahead of you. They are going to kill us. They don't care. If it's survival, they're going to kill us. You think them lockdowns that we had in the spring were worse? No. You've seen nothing yet. Your man's already talking about dark winter. You know what that means? That means there's going to be limited resources again. Y'all worrying about toilet paper and all this crap. They're out there hunting right now. They got their chest freezers. They're killing deer and possums and what are the other nasty things y'all eat down there? What y'all be eating down there? What y'all be eating?
Folk be scooping up
the rabbits,
turtles, armadillos, squirrels.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they know how to skin. They know how to break that stuff down. They have chest freezers full of food. They're good. They make their own ammo, folk. Y'all sitting in Atlanta with y'all mask on having brunch. They're down there in what's that one town? Oh my God. I forgot the name of that town. It's like an hour and a half. Oh my God, I can't remember it. Anyway, Southern Georgia. There's a white man right now making ammo, and his 2 kids are sitting there watching him do it.
Skills.
Life skills. And y'all worrying about which next celebrity is going to be the one to give y'all fodder for the next 2 weeks? Black folk, y'all got Real talk. Sometimes I'm sorry to say, sometimes y'all ashamed. Y'all shame me. Sometimes I'm ashamed.
Brother,
Because
I'm really happy with the platform that I have. Is that I'm proud of everybody who has, connected with me and taken their personal defense, their self defense, their constitutional right seriously, and are protecting their families. Like each time I get an order to Timonics and I ship it out, like I ship it out with the quickness, because I'm just that happy that yes, there's another person who is taking a step to being a victor versus a victim, and protecting their family. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, and as Black people, many of us joined the military, to get out of our hometowns, to avoid jail time for college and a Camaro. But other groups join the military for networking, for learning those tactical skills, for assets, for access to those weapons. There was an article that came out like a year or so ago where this shipment of military weapons disappeared. And how do military weapons disappear? I just moved from Washington State, where Washington State, the FBI stated, had the highest concentration of racist white supremacy cells in the U.S. And the majority of people up there are military. I worked on a naval base, and you will see the MAGA hats. You will see, the different vinyls on the cars. I highly encourage y'all to start reading vinyls on cars. When you see the Punisher, shout out to brother Jason Black. He did a whole episode on the Punisher and how they take it to where it should not be. I have a book right here. Hold on one second.
Folks, and another reason why Washington is that high, and Oregon too. Don't forget about Oregon, like Eastern Oregon too.
Yes, I have a book right here. This book is thick as hell about sniping, and they gave the dude Chris the title "The American Sniper." The true American sniper is my ancestor, Mark Essex. Go look him up, and what he stood for when he served in the Navy and also went down to New Orleans. He's the true American sniper, and he's actually referenced in this book. And this book is written by a non-black person, but it's all about being a sniper. I picked up this book. I have this copy, but non-black people join the military to get those tactical skills, access to weapons, networking. A lot of the police departments are recruiting veterans. Okay, I consider myself one of the safe ones. I was never in the desert. I didn't wear the Kevlar. I was chilling on the boat. Dealing with jet fuel. But however, you have some I have recordings and of people who are overseas who don't think us who don't bat an eye at the things that they did. I won't say it out here, but I've been exposed to what these people have done in villages to citizens outside of the United States, and they come back with these mentalities and they bring that to our neighborhoods. I've had firearms instructors who have said, I put a rifle or a pistol in my child's hand as soon as they could stand up on their own. However, we are taught to go and shuck and jive and dance and for relatives when they come over, but they're out there learning how to survive.
Thanksgiving, before the 4 o'clock game, they're out there shooting.
We live in the city limits, and we can't go out and go hunting. When I grew up, we were on the bus line. The bus ain't gonna let you on with a hunting rifle and take you out to go hunting. We did not go to the Ohio River and start fishing, although I know now that there's catfish in the Ohio River. However, we just didn't go down there. But us as Black people, we're at a major handicap, okay? And today is the Marine Corps birthday. Shout out to my brothers and sisters in the Marine Corps, because they the ones who taught me how to shoot. So I love the hell out of the Marines, all right? And my mentor, she's a former Marine. But we are definitely behind the curve. But a bit of an encouragement, a lot of us are on code. There's a community of us out there. I'm just a novice when it comes to firearms and self-defense. There's so much to learn. Shout out to Blackfoot Protection Services that's located over in Western Georgia. They're hosting a men's warrior weekend this upcoming weekend where they're teaching the brothers firearms training, knife fighting, survival skills, map reading, how to live off the land. Great brother and sister out there, and it is owned and ran by a former veteran. So I highly encourage y'all to follow Blackfoot Protection Services on Facebook. Sisters have traveled from all over the U.S. to attend this training, and it's definitely important. But there are those of us who we have resources in our community. If I could say one thing, do not write off that veteran in your community or that outspoken person like a Sister Ali as being out there and against the grain. We ain't gonna talk to them. There's a lot of resources in Sanity, and you just have to get your mind right and absorb and value the gems that they drop. So shout out to you, Kid Gravity brother. I can't wait till you get down here in Georgia and we can connect and build. So
ma'am, I got the calendar on my phone. I got the calendar on the computers. I look at my wife every day and I tell her we almost there. Because I already know what's happening because they passed their budget up here for next year. And they already took out the $1 billion for the NYPD. So we already know what's going to happen. The Bronx is about to be okay corral. Brooklyn is about to get worse. If you drive around here, you see so many for sale signs. People know what's coming. And I can't do it anymore. I can't. I got a kid to worry about now. I can't do it anymore.
I will meet you as soon as you cross the Virginia line and help you drive the rest of the way. All right, I ain't gonna deal with all them dang on tolls. So I'll meet you when you get into
we got
the
easy pass. We got an easy pass, so we're good.
There we go.
I mean,
I'll welcome you.
Oh my God! I'm gonna have to drive the car down there, which is gonna be
I'll
fun.
drive it. Yeah, y'all can fly. Just pay for me to get up there. I'll drive it down, and y'all can.
I'll do the drive. The drive is not. She not staying in the car because the baby ain't sitting in that car for 14 hours. It ain't happening. I can't do that to my sanity. And especially once I get into South Carolina, we know that's drug alley. They want to mess with you.
It's peaceful. It's peaceful. I just did.
No, I love driving through South Carolina. It's just the police.
I just did that drive a week ago. It's perfectly fine. And then once I get to Augusta, I'm on the Georgia back road, so it's peaceful.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna ride 85. So, but
you'll be good.
So I need that scenic stuff. Maybe I'll live stream while I'm doing it sometime.
Yes.
But I'm sorry for going on that diatribe before, folks. But it's just like every 4 years we're like grizzly bears. We just wake up, go vote. Act like we do politics because especially nowadays, black folks, I mean, I'm glad they're into politics, but a lot of them just don't know what they're talking about because they don't do simple research. They just regurgitate what other people tell them. And then we go back to sleep. And then only get woken up before the next 4 years if something weird goes down. Because it was just funny how during Trump's election, and we'll close it off on this, Black folk were all woke and aware and, he a racist and all this and things like that. And then Biden comes out of nowhere and he's like, I call him Massa Biden because y'all say, oh, it's the lesser of two evils. So I likened it to this. Trump is the abolitionist and Biden is the slave master. Y'all got mad at the abolitionists trying to open the gate for you because you didn't want to leave Massa. Because Massa brought out the house Negro, which is now Kamala, to tell you that anything okay, she'll still give you the scraps that Massa ate. After Massa ate, we'll give you the scraps out the window. I really encourage Black folks to go do their research on the last 4 years of this president and realize you just voted out your best chance to create generational wealth, because I'm already telling you, and you could go look this up. They're already, he didn't even put his hand on the Bible yet. And he's already working his way to help out South Asian people. We haven't heard a peep from Miss Headboard Harris except online. She ain't come out with no agenda. Okay, she's supposed to be black, right? I'm gonna ask Aisha this. She's supposed to be black, right? Where's her black woman agenda? She's been on the trail since about when did she get confirmed? Like July. Mm-hmm. Where was her black woman agenda?
Right.
But she damn sure went and did her speech after she got elected. She made sure I'm gonna do stuff for the Jewish women, the Mexican women, and the Asian women. Funny how that works. What's she gonna do for black women? I researched it. She had nothing.
Hold on. I got you. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's either a canary or somebody.
Crickets.
Oh yeah, crickets. Okay, crickets. That was either crickets or that was one of the Memorex tapes trying to rewind. But yes, folks, where is this? Y'all got mad at Ice Cube for coming up with an agenda. Black women, y'all got mad at him because he didn't have a separate section for y'all. But we all know Headboard Harris is not going to have a separate section for y'all. Do you understand the black women she puts in there are going to be diversity hires?
The tokens.
Oh, yes. Oh, you already know Stacey Abrams up in there. She's probably going to be in charge of, what's the one that we do for the food? The FDA. She's probably going to run the FDA. She's going to waste money talking about food deserts when there's no food deserts because black people don't know how to meal plan.
Wasn't that garden initiative program from Michelle Obama where there was something like that? All it was just like, hey, healthy food for the standard American diet.
Yeah, and how'd that work?
Exactly.
How'd that work after you sold out the farmers? How your husband sold out the farmers to the Chinese, but we're not gonna talk about that today, right? Mm-hmm. That's another subject for another day. But yeah, so y'all, Stacey Abrams is about to get a job. Who's the other one? I'm sure Tamika Mallory is gonna get a job. Oh, birthday week is gonna be fun. Tamika Mallory, you just got back on the list for that bullshit you pulled yesterday. Woo! I'm gonna tell Taisha. I'm gonna give a little preview. So
you gotta send that to me.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you. Oh, but I'm gonna tell you, Eva Longoria decided to go jump out the window. You know she a liberal, and she said, shout out. She basically said, shout out to black women for what they did, but let's not forget that the Latinas were the real heroes of this, the real heroines of this election cycle. Now, I will admit, if she was talking about Trump's side, yes. Latinas and Latino men, yes, they came out strong. Not so much on the Democrat side, but that's another subject for another day. So you know what happens with social media. When you put out something like that, it goes viral and then everybody gets in your neck and then you have to go apologize. Guess who ran out there and apologized for her? Not only Miss Tamika Mallory, who I'm not even gonna let that off. I'm gonna let you listen to it when I do the audio. But Miss Kerry Washington.
Oh gosh, I just talked about her when I did that video on Tracy Ellis Rice. I said Tracy Ellis Rice. Tracy Ellis Rice. Oh god.
Oh, she defended her. ABC chicks got to stick together. Oh, she defended her. She said she's not like that. She misspoke. Oh, she said it. She defended her. Folks, this is what I mean when I say those 4 little words, and every time I say it, it just invokes people to just look at me and say, "You nothing but a coon." We need to separate. I'm sorry. It's high time. After what y'all did with Ice Cube, I'm never gonna forgive black folks for that. And that's a fact. She showed, when y'all hear the audio, she's holding up another one of Shahrazad Ali's great books, Are You Still a Slave? And this book is very significant because it's actually a quiz. It's 20 questions, I think, and she gives you answers. And whatever answer you pick, she explains what it is. Yes, Vanna Black. I'm going to call you Vanna Black. But yes, folk. After what y'all did with Ice Cube, I seriously need black folks worth a damn to separate from niggas. It has to happen. Because I've said this before, y'all want the change, but y'all not ready to put in the work. We don't need to, right now we've been in a state of emergency since the Emancipation Proclamation. I'm not even going to bring up slavery because we had no say there. But the day Lincoln signed that, we were in a state of emergency because we were behind the 8 ball. We had to rebuild. And the one time it shut off was Black Wall Street. And when they burned it, the siren came on. And if you listen to my emergency shows, that's how it starts. The siren. The Negro Leagues were there. It shut off for about 2 years. Then it went back on. Reconstruction went back on. Harlem Renaissance went back on. The 50s, after we came home from war, went back on. The 60s, the last time we were pro-Black, that's when it shut off. Soon as feminism showed up, went right back on. MLK died, and Malcolm died. It went into overdrive, and now all of us, not worth a damn, have tinnitus, whatever the word is. Y'all niggas still don't hear. All y'all hear is the beeps of the smoke detectors. Y'all see the smoke, but y'all won't go investigate the fire. I don't understand this. And it pisses me off.
Public service announcement: YouTubers and people who call in to live shows, please change your smoke detector batteries.
I did a video. Record. There's a video on my Instagram. I showed y'all how to change I told y'all how to change a smoke detector. It's on my Instagram.
These are things that your parents should have told you.
Another great verse. Yes, because I don't understand folk. Y'all know how to fix y'all cell phone. Y'all can't fix y'all smoke detector. And black folks, how many of y'all got carbon monoxide detectors? Guarantee y'all don't. I got one right there it's in the window. Exactly. Yeah, I ain't got that. But this is my last message before I go. This one's gonna be rough. Even though I was rough before. This is gonna be rough. Black people, the date is November 10th, 2020. As Taisha Essex said, tomorrow's Veterans Day. And we all know there's a lot of Black people that risk their lives so she and I can converse like this. And we're not happening to be in Detroit while I might be in the tub doing this because niggas don't know how to shoot. The simple fact that I'm sitting here talking to this Black woman and we're having a peaceful dialogue and nobody's mom is getting called all type of bitches and she started insulting my manhood and I'm not trying to be no simp talking about how she looked good and I want her number afterwards should show you that 2 Black people can actually have dialogue, meaningful dialogue, and go outside and end it right there. But I see too many of you Negroes out here thinking that you pro-Black and you're not. It's easy to go on YouTube and take down a Malcolm post, which I've seen all y'all start doing now, even though you voted for Biden, but y'all taking the Malcolm X quote and acting like you followed the brother when y'all don't even understand that. Even though he was pro-Black, he also understood that he's going to need white people. But y'all want to be on y'all shit. But that's fine. You want to be pre-Malcolm? Fine, whatever. Y'all cool with that. When I tell y'all that MLK was being investigated by the government for cavorting with communists, y'all tell me I'm crazy. But you can go read the COINTELPRO reports. It's all there. Y'all want to put up the clip, the legendary clip of Miss Angela Davis when she was sitting there with the afro and acting real pro-Black, not even realizing that, number one, she's a communist, and number two, she's underneath a white woman spitting lies to your Black woman. But y'all cool with that. We voted a Black man in office who said that he was going to change. And you're right, he did change. Do you understand that I've asked older Black folk and they said they felt safer under Bush's administration than Obama's? But y'all not ready for them conversations. Look how many Black people have died under Obama's administration. And y'all want to sit up here and tell me now that his man, the number 2 at that time, is going to just somehow click us all up together. I told you, he's only going to click you up because he needs to silence you now. Because guess what? Now we're in the age of black people are going to start holding people accountable. You put a black woman in office, which means you can hold her accountable. She won't talk to you. So who are you going to go to next? You're going to go to Biden. Biden's not going to talk to you. He already called you predators. He already called me a roach. He said I ain't black because I voted for Trump. He told a black reporter, you must be on crack. But he went to the mixed breed and had a very funny conversation, 45 minutes, but disrespected a black man. I'm sitting here with a black woman speaking about what I joke about, the greatest black woman that ever lived. I make that joke. But the greatest black woman that ever lived should have been the best teacher you ever had, and that should have been your mama. But our females did not heed the words of this black woman because she came from our generation. Okay, black folks, Generation Y, she was us. This was Mother Earth for us. This should have been Mother Earth. When she dropped this book, most of us were going to kindergarten. First grade. Yes, ma'am. Hold up the books proudly. We got to college. This book was still available in college. You could still go to Barnes & Noble and pick this book up. We didn't do this. And look what happened. We're going through the same problems our parents went through. Except now our parents are getting older. And most of them, and y'all don't want to say this, they're together. They're letting it, they're waiting out their last few years on earth, except your mamas. Because I still have both my parents and they're still together, 35 years. They just celebrated 30 last year.
84 was a good year.
84 was a good year. Well, for y'all, I was 85, but you know. Y'all sit up here and think shit is sweet, but they want to act outraged when something goes wrong. I told you, white people plan for this stuff. The Latino community down there in Miami, they planned for this. Do you understand this COVID happened? Their communities were still humming, especially when they started easing up the restrictions. I would love to see their books. The Asian community, they were advocating Miss Nancy Pelosi and up here, de Blasio, go to your Chinatowns. Notice that sentence I just said. Even though it was the COVID came from China, they were advocating for the Asians. They never said, go shop in your neighborhoods. That's why I said to y'all before, you got to hear, we hear, but we don't listen. The most affected community during this pandemic, they only spotlight us to show what's wrong with it. But I am talking to a black woman whose business is thriving inside of a pandemic. You're listening to a black man who was able to take this money and get himself out of debt. We did not have to go into our savings much. Well, I went in my savings to pay off my debt, but I rebuilt it back. I did Forex training for a little bit. I have some stocks. I actually just bought stock in a black comic book company. I'm actually going to talk to him tomorrow. But you're going to find out when this is all over, because come January, they're going to put out the stat. Black kids are further behind than they were before the COVID. They're going to point that out. We're going to be spotlighted for the next 4 years so negatively, y'all not going to understand. All those people that ran out there and destroyed all those neighborhoods and all them shops, I don't want to hear not one of y'all talk about how, I'm getting followed in this store. Look, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to downvote your video. I might even flag it. Or I might, you know what? Nah, I'm going to be nice. I'm just going to leave a comment. I'm just going to say, we told you so. Last point. And I mean this wholeheartedly. I'm not even going to take this back. And Taisha, this is going to go against cops. This is not on you. I don't want to hear one black person, when they get in, complain about white people shooting cops, about cops shooting black folks, because y'all sat there and voted for a cop. And y'all voted for a cop who defended bad cops. I don't want to hear it. I want you to say what she said earlier and what you hear black people say. Chalk it up to the game. Folk, this was fun. Something fun. And I cultural appropriated. Shout out to Kim Kardashian. So I'm sorry I went on that rant, but black folks bring that out of me sometimes. But this was a fun conversation. And once again, I'm going to go back on my joke shit. This is the greatest black woman that ever lived. Shahrazad Ali. And I said that, and my wife understands, and she's number 2. Yes. So, folks, we're going to go. And before we go, I'm going to let Miss Taisha Essex promote herself. And I'm going to get out of here because I got to get something to eat. And my throat hurts. Pause.
So I say it was an honor to be here, brother. It's always a joy to speak with you. Once again, everybody can find me at Taisha Essex on YouTube. You can also go to TaishaEssex.com, spelled right here. Taisha Essex, 2 E's and 2 S's in Essex. You can pick up your self-defense gear at Taimonics.shop. Use the discount code Black People Hike, because I just noticed that a lot of us are going out hiking during this beautiful time of year and we need protection. So make sure you use the discount code Black People Hike and you'll save 10%. You can find me, like I said, over on YouTube, my other social media platforms, and yeah, it's just an honor to be here. So thank you so much, brother, and I hope to see you again. And you also have an invite over to my channel as well.
Yes, ma'am. And yes, folks, we're gonna go now. Enjoy the rest of the last 2 hours of this day, because tomorrow is 24 hours for our veterans. Shout out to all 6 branches, including y'all Space Force, who Trump, I'm sure, probably has them building Gundams right now, but that's another subject for another day. So take care, stay safe, wear y'all masks, get y'all supplies, and just remember, if you live way out in the boonies and you're black and you find a forest, please train. Please train. Train your hand-to-hand, train your eyes, train your ears, train your nose, and make sure your guns are not on safety. Thank you for joining us today. Take care. Stay safe. Peace out.